And welcome back to Giro Preview. Today we have a look at Groupama FDJ. Now, obviously led by a strong David Gaudu, they have the likes of support riders like Sven Eric Byström, Clement Davy, Kevin Geniet, Lorenzo Germani, Quentin Pacher, Enzo Pellegrini, and Remy Rojas. The only two riders I know much about are Geniet, Byström, and Pacher, so there's three. I lie. Um, Pacher has to be going up in breakaways, I feel. Sven-Erik Byström probably doesn't get much of a ride up there, but Geniet also probably goes up into breakaways. I think they're going to go into this race targeting GC with David Gaudu. I don't think that's an incredibly smart decision. I think he'll fall far enough behind that he can target some late stage wins. Those big GC stages that they'll be looking at, like Roglic will be looking at. I think he'll be so far off by the time we get to the big mountains and stages like 16 or 17, and then like 19, 20, something like that. I think it's 17, 19, 20. I think he'll be far enough down on GC to go for a couple of those stage wins out of the break. Um, I don't think he's strong enough for a top five. You look at it and who would you rather have? Bernal, Arensman? I mean, Bernal is a 50-50 with his back, but Arensman, Carapaz, Kabiri, Roglic, Hindley, Martinez, Yates, Landa, Bardet. There's just a lot of strength around. Juan Ayuso, even like Rafael Micah, can be unbelievably strong at times. Although he's likely going to give away his shot to support Juan Ayuso, who we'll talk about in the UAE video. Um, but yeah, I think he's on for a top 10 comfortably, but I think top five is just more than he'll be able to realistically go after. But I think for this to be considered a success, they have to target a top five. If they can get a top five, Godu has ridden out of his mind. Um, I just don't rate him as highly as I rate some of the other riders in that GC fight. So yeah, top five would be unbelievable. Top 10 is the minimum for him. And then you have to say a stage win for him. He's going to be the strongest out of any breakaway he goes into because he's probably the best of the rest, as it would be called in most of other sports, where he's a part of that main GC pack, but probably the worst of them. That could be a little bit harsh. I think Giulio Ciccone is in the same boat. Maybe Tom Pidcock. But I'd have him having the beating of Tom Pidcock up a mountain like the Finestra. Um, I think if he loses enough time, breakaways are his best route to a one increase in GC position, but two a stage win, or two to make this tour a success. If they get themselves a stage win, they can count this as a success. They haven't brought the full squad. Like there's plenty of other things they could have brought. They have gone for Go Dude. They've put faith, and it's time for him to prove it as the big French hope of once. I think he needs to really step it up on a Grand Tour stage, get himself a stage win or two, show he can fight for overall GC. Obviously, he's had fourth at the Tour de France before, but that was in what I feel was a pretty weak um, kind of tour. He's had two stage wins at Vuelta, but I'm not sure I particularly like him in. So yeah, thank you very much for watching my Groupama FDJ um, kind of Giro preview. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you did. If you want to have any more, I've done one of these for every single team in the race, right through from VF Group Bardiani to Visma Lisa Bike. Like, there's one for everyone. If there's a group you don't know, I'll give you some insight. If you want to know how those bigger teams are coping without their best riders, I'll show you that one too. Thank you very much for watching and happy Giro.